Admiral Kexthor stood in the middle of the Great Hall. His 6 arms moved across the glowing screens that floated in the air around him. Each screen showed the same thing: ships that never came home. The Zephyrian Empire had ruled this part of the galaxy for over 1,000 years. They had seen many wars. They had won most of them. But this was different. This was not about winning or losing. This was about ships that just disappeared. "Show me the list again," Kexthor said to his aide. Commander Veltara stepped forward. She was smaller than the Admiral, but just as deadly. Her blue skin had scars from many battles. Her 4 eyes looked at the main screen as numbers appeared. 17 different groups have attacked the planet called Earth, she said. The first attack was 63 years ago. The Mantari sent 50 ships. None came back. The screen changed. It showed more names and numbers. The Helix Empire sent 200 ships 30 years ago. Gone. The Vortani Confederacy sent their best fighters just 3 months ago. Also gone. Kexthor's main eye focused on the screen. What do we know about this planet? Earth is a small world in a system with 1 star, Veltara said. The people there are called humans. They look weak. They have no space travel beyond their own system. Their weapons are very basic, nuclear bombs at best. Then how do they destroy entire fleets? That is what we need to find out. The Admiral walked to the big window. Outside, the stars looked peaceful. But he knew better. Space was full of dangers, pirates, rebels, and wild aliens that attacked for no reason. But this was different. This was a pattern. Tell me about the last attack, he said. Veltara touched her control pad. A new image appeared. It showed a large alien with gray skin and red eyes. General Thakamor of the Vortani Confederacy, she said. He was sure he could succeed where others failed. He took 200 ships. All of them had heavy weapons. Some of them were as big as small moons. What happened? They reached the Earth system. We tracked them until they got close to the planet. Then nothing. No signals, no explosions, no debris. They just stopped sending messages. Kexthor turned back to face her. Maybe they decided to live there. The Vortani do not give up fights. They would rather die than surrender. Something else happened. The Admiral thought about this. In all his years of war, he had never seen anything like it. Ships could be destroyed, ships could be captured, but ships did not just vanish without any trace. What do the humans say about these attacks? He asked. We have never talked to them. Every group that attacked them wanted to conquer or destroy them. None tried to communicate first, and now 17 different groups are gone. Yes, sir. Kexthor made a decision. We will not attack them. Veltara looked surprised. Sir? Think about it. If we attack, we might disappear too. Then someone else will wonder what happened to us. This mystery will continue. Then what do we do? We watch. We learn. We find out what really happens to ships that attack Earth. The Admiral walked back to his control center. He pressed several buttons. New screens appeared around him. I want our best stealth ship, the one that can hide from any scanner. Take a small crew. Go to the Earth system, but do not attack. Just watch. You want me to spy on them? I want you to solve this mystery. Find out how primitive humans destroy advanced fleets. There must be something we are missing, Veltara nodded. When do I leave? Tomorrow. Take the Silent Dagger. It is our most advanced scout ship. No one will see you. What if there is another attack while I am there? Even better. Then you can watch what happens. You can see how they do it. The commander saluted and left the room. Kexthor stayed by the window. He looked out at the stars and thought about the mystery of Earth. Somewhere out there was a small planet full of weak creatures. But somehow, these creatures had become the most dangerous thing in this part of the galaxy. Not because they attacked others, but because no one who attacked them ever came back. He thought about the different groups that had tried. The Mantari were known for their smart battle plans. Gone. The Helix Empire had the best weapons in the galaxy. Gone. The Vortani were the fiercest fighters anyone had ever seen. Gone. What could make such powerful groups disappear? Some kind of super weapon? Maybe the humans had help from another advanced race. Maybe there was something about that system that trapped ships. Or maybe the humans were not as weak as they seemed. Kexthor had seen many strange things in his long life. He had fought energy beings that lived in stars. He had seen planets that could think. He had battled machines that rebuilt themselves after being destroyed, but he had never seen anything like this. A pattern of complete disappearance. No survivors, no messages, no wreckage. Just silence. Tomorrow, Veltara would begin the journey to Earth. She would hide in the darkness of space and watch. Maybe she would finally learn the truth about what happened to those ships. The Admiral hoped she would come back with answers, but deep in his mind, he worried that she might not come back at all. As he looked out at the stars, one thought kept coming back to him. What if the humans were not the victims in this story? What if they were something much more dangerous than anyone realized? Time would tell. But first, they had to survive long enough to learn the truth. Commander Veltara sat in the pilot seat of the Silent Dagger. The ship was moving through space faster than light. Soon they would reach the Earth system. Soon she would see this mysterious planet that made fleets disappear. Her crew was small. Just 3 other Zephyrians. They were all experts at staying hidden and watching enemies. The Silent Dagger was built for this kind of mission. No one could see it. No scanner could find it. "We are almost there," said Navigator Zekhan from his station. "Good. Drop us out of hyperspace at the edge of the system, far from the planet." The ship slowed down. The strange colors of hyperspace faded away. Stars appeared around them, and there in the distance was a yellow star with planets around it. "There it is," said Veltara. "The Earth system." She looked at her screens. The system looked normal. 1 star, several planets, some moons, nothing special, nothing that looked dangerous. "Run a full scan," she ordered. "Scanning now," said Science. Officer Nextala. Her hands moved over her controls. "I see 9 planets. The 3rd one from the star is Earth. It has 1 large moon. What about ships? Any sign of the missing fleets?" Nothing. No ships. No debris. No energy readings that match any of the missing fleets. Veltara frowned. Where did 200 Vortani ships go? They were huge. They should leave some trace. "Wait," said Nextala. "I am picking up something else." "What?" "New ships, coming out of hyperspace." Veltara looked at her main screen. Points of light appeared near the large planet called Jupiter. More and more points. Soon there were hundreds of them. "Those are not human ships," said Weapons Officer Kreldok. "I recognize the design. Krillian warships." Veltara knew about the Krillian horde. They were brutal fighters. They destroyed entire worlds for fun. They never showed mercy to weaker races. "How many ships?" she asked. 500. Maybe more. This is a full invasion fleet." "Perfect. Now, we can watch what happens when someone attacks Earth." The Krillian ships moved toward the inner planets. They were not trying to hide. They wanted the humans to see them coming. It was part of their way of fighting. First fear, then death. But something strange happened on Earth. "I am seeing new energy readings," said Nextala, "coming from the planet." "What kind of readings?" "I do not know. I have never seen anything like this." On her screen, Veltara watched Earth change. Lights appeared on the dark side of the planet. Not city lights. These were bigger and brighter. They formed patterns she did not understand. "There," said Kreldok. "Something is coming out of Earth's atmosphere." Ships rose from the planet. But these were not the primitive rockets Veltara expected. These ships looked advanced. Some of them looked familiar. "Wait a moment," she said. "Magnify that group of ships." The screen zoomed in on a squadron of vessels. Veltara felt her blood turn cold. "Those are Vortani ships," she whispered. "That is impossible," said Nextala. "The Vortani fleet disappeared 3 months ago." "Look at the design, the shape, the weapon ports. Those are definitely Vortani ships." But something was different about them. The ships had new parts added to them. Extra weapons, different colors. They still looked like Vortani ships, but changed somehow. More ships came up from Earth. Veltara recognized some of the designs. Mantari fighters, Helix Empire cruisers, ships from a dozen different races that had attacked Earth over the years. "This cannot be real," said Zekhan. "Those ships were supposed to be destroyed." "They were not destroyed," said Veltara slowly. "They were captured." The truth hit her like a physical blow. The missing fleets were not gone. They were here, around Earth, working with the humans. On her screen, she watched the Earth fleet move toward the Krillian invasion force. The human ships moved in strange patterns, not like any military formation she had ever seen. "Can you listen to their communications?" she asked. "Yes. I am picking up signals. Put them on the speakers." The bridge filled with voices. Human voices, speaking in their strange language, but there were other voices too, alien voices. Some of them sounded like Vortani, others sounded like species she could not identify. "They are working together," said Nextala. "Humans and aliens, fighting as one fleet." The battle began, but it was unlike any space battle Veltara had ever seen. The Krillians formed their usual attack formation, heavy ships in front, fighters on the sides, a strategy that had worked, for them, for centuries. But the Earth fleet did not fight back the normal way. Instead of meeting the attack head-on, they scattered. Ships went in all directions. Some went behind asteroids. Others flew toward the sun. A few even seemed to run. "Away." "What are they doing?" asked Kreldok. "That is not how you fight a space battle." "Maybe they are cowards," said Zekhan. But Veltara was not so sure. She had been in many battles. She knew the difference between retreat and strategy. "Keep watching," she said. The Krillian fleet moved deeper into the system. They were chasing the scattered Earth ships. But something was wrong. The Krillian formations were breaking apart. Ships were leaving their positions to chase individual Earth vessels. "The humans are splitting up the Krillian fleet," said Veltara. "They are making them fight as individual ships instead of one big fleet." Then the real fighting started. Earth. Ships that had seemed to run away suddenly turned around. They attacked from unexpected directions. Some came out from behind moons. Others used the gravity of planets to move faster than should be possible. "Look at that," said Nextala. "One of the Earth ships just let itself be captured by a Krillian dreadnought." "That makes no sense," said Kreldok. But then the captured ship exploded, not from outside weapons, from inside. The explosion was so big it destroyed the Krillian dreadnought too. "They sacrificed their own ship," said Zekhan. "The crew killed themselves to destroy the enemy." "No," said Veltara. "I think they escaped first. Look at those small ships moving away from the explosion." She was right. Tiny escape pods were flying away from the destroyed ships. The Earth fleet was picking them up. The battle continued. But it was not really a battle anymore. It was a trap. The Krillians had expected to fight primitive humans with simple weapons. Instead, they were fighting a fleet that used captured alien technology in ways no one had ever thought of. Some Krillian ships were being boarded. Others were surrounded and forced to surrender. A few tried to run away, but Earth ships chased them down. "The Krillians are losing," said Nextala. "A fleet of 500 ships is being defeated by ships they thought were primitive." "Not primitive," said Veltara. "Smart. The humans are not just using alien technology. They are improving it." As she watched, she began to understand something terrible. Earth was not just defending itself. It was recruiting. Every attack on the planet brought them new ships, new technology, and new allies. The humans were not the victims of alien attacks. They were the predators, and every fleet that came to conquer them just made them stronger. "Commander," said Zekhan. "What do we do?" Veltara looked at the battle. Already many Krillian ships had stopped fighting. Some were surrendering. Others were just floating in space, apparently disabled. "We watch," she said. "We learn. And we hope they do not notice us." But deep inside, she wondered if they were already too late. If the humans could capture fleets of 500 ships, what could they do to one small scout vessel? For the first time in her military career, Commander Veltara was afraid. The battle was getting worse for the Krillians. Commander Veltara watched from her hidden ship as the human fleet did impossible things. "They are not fighting like any race I have ever seen," said Weapons Officer Kreldok. He was right. Most space battles followed simple rules. Big ships fought big ships. Small ships fought small ships. Fleets stayed together and used their combined firepower. But the humans were breaking every rule. Their ships acted alone or in tiny groups. They used tricks instead of pure force. They made the Krillians confused and angry. "Look at that squadron," said Science Officer Nextala. "They are flying straight into an asteroid field." Veltara watched 3 human ships disappear into the floating rocks. A group of Krillian fighters chased them. The asteroids were dangerous. Most pilots would avoid them, but the human ships knew exactly where to go. They flew between the rocks like they had done it 1,000 times. The Krillian fighters were not so lucky. They crashed into asteroids or got lost trying to follow. The humans know this system perfectly, said Veltara. They have been practicing here for years. Another human trick was happening near Earth's moon. A group of human ships pretended to be damaged. They sent out distress signals and moved slowly, like wounded animals. When Krillian ships came to finish them off, the trap was sprung. The moon itself became a weapon. Hidden guns on the moon's surface opened fire. The Krillian ships were caught between the lunar weapons and the human ships that were not really damaged. Clever, said Navigator Zekhan. They turned their own moon into a fortress. But the strangest thing was what happened when Krillian crews tried to surrender. Most races would either accept surrender or kill the enemy. The humans did something different. They are talking to the surrendering ships, said Nextala. Not demanding surrender, actually talking. Veltara listened to the communications. Human voices were speaking in the Krillian language, not just simple commands, full conversations. How do they know Krillian? Asked Kreldok. They learned it, said Veltara. The humans studied every race that attacked them. They know our languages, our customs, our weaknesses. As she watched, something amazing happened. Some of the Krillian ships stopped fighting but did not surrender. Instead, they joined the human fleet. They turned their weapons on their own side. That is impossible, said Zekhan. Krillians never betray their own kind. Unless someone gives them a very good reason, said Veltara. She understood what was happening. The humans were not just winning the battle with weapons. They were winning it with words. They were convincing Krillian crews to switch sides during the fight. Put the human communications on the speakers, she ordered. The bridge filled with voices. Most were in human language, but some were in Krillian. And other languages, too. Languages from races that had attacked Earth before. Attention, Krillian vessels, said a voice in perfect Krillian. This is Commander Tony Lewis of the Earth Defense Fleet. I was once like you. I attacked this planet with the Centauri forces 5 years ago. Veltara felt her skin turn cold. A former enemy was now leading human ships. The humans showed me something I had never seen before. The voice continued. They showed me what we could build together instead of destroying each other. Join us. Help us make something better. More Krillian ships stopped fighting. Their crews were listening. This is Admiral Roy Henderson of Earth Command, said another voice. This time in human language, but with translation systems making it understandable to everyone. We do not want to destroy you. We want to recruit you. Every race that has come here has made us stronger. You can too. The battle was becoming something else. It was becoming a recruitment drive. Veltara watched as human ships approached disabled Krillian vessels. Instead of destroying them, they attached boarding tubes. But the humans going aboard were not just humans. Some were clearly aliens. Aliens that had once attacked Earth. Those are Vortani soldiers, said Nextala, pointing at figures moving between ships. And those look like Mantari technicians. Former enemies working with humans, said Veltara. This is how they do it. They do not just capture ships, they capture hearts and minds. The largest Krillian dreadnought was still fighting. Its commander was trying to rally his remaining ships, but even his own crew was beginning to question him. Human ships surrounded the dreadnought, but they did not attack. Instead, they broadcast something directly into the ship's communication system. What are they sending? Asked Kreldok. Information, said Nextala. Technical data, scientific discoveries, medical advances. Veltara understood. The humans were showing the Krillians what they could gain by joining Earth's alliance. Not just survival, but knowledge, technology, a better life. The dreadnought's weapons powered down. Its crew had made their choice. The battle is over, said Zekhan, and the humans won without destroying most of the enemy fleet. They won by making the enemy fleet their own fleet, said Veltara. She watched as human and alien crews worked together to repair damaged ships. Krillian wounded were being taken to human medical ships. Prisoners were being treated well, not Like enemies, but like future friends. "Commander," said Nextala, "I am detecting something else." "What now?" "More ships coming out of hyperspace, but these are not attacking." New vessels appeared on the screen, ships from different races. Some Veltara recognized, others she did not. "Those are the missing fleets," she whispered. "All of them." The ships that had disappeared over the decades were coming back. But they were not the same ships that had left. They had been upgraded, modified, improved. Mantari vessels now had Helix Empire weapons. Vortani ships carried technology from a dozen different races. Human engineering had combined the best parts of every alien design. "How many ships do they have now?" asked Kreldok. Nextala worked at her controls. "Thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Every race that ever attacked Earth is represented here." The truth was clear now. Earth was not just defending itself. It was building an empire. Not through conquest, but through conversion. Every attack made them stronger. Every enemy became an ally. "We have to report this to Admiral Kexthor," said Zekhan. "Report what?" asked Veltara. "That humans can turn enemies into friends. That they have built the largest alliance in this part of the galaxy. We have to warn the Empire." "Warn them." "Of what?" "That humans will try to recruit us too?" Veltara looked at the massive fleet surrounding Earth. Ships from 17 different races, all working together, all following human leadership. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "Look at them," she said. "They are not slaves. They are partners. The humans have done something no empire has ever done. They have united different races without force. By defeating them first," said Kreldok. "By showing them a better way." "After defeat," said Veltara. She thought about her own empire. The Zephyrians ruled through fear and superior firepower. They had conquered many worlds, but they had never made their enemies into true allies. The humans were different. They did not want to rule over others. They wanted to work with others, and somehow, that made them more dangerous than any conqueror. "Commander," said Nextala, "what are your orders?" Veltara looked at the peaceful fleet, former enemies working side by side, ships that should have been destroyed instead flying in perfect formation. "We continue to watch," she said, "and we learn what it really means to be human." But she knew their mission had already changed. They had come to find out why ships disappeared when they attacked Earth. Now she knew the answer. The ships did not disappear. They evolved. They became part of something bigger and better than they had ever been before. The question now was what would happen when the Zephyrian Empire learned the truth. Commander Veltara made a decision that could change everything. She had watched the humans defeat the Krillian fleet without destroying it. She had seen enemies become allies in the middle of battle. Now she wanted to understand how they did. "Turn off the stealth systems," she ordered. "Commander," said Navigator Zekhan, "are you sure?" "We came here to learn the truth. We cannot learn it by hiding." Science Officer Nextala looked worried. "What if they attack us?" "Then we will find out what happens to ships that attack Earth, but I do not think they will attack. They will want to talk." The silent dagger appeared on every scanner in the system. Veltara waited. Within minutes, human ships were moving toward them. But not attack ships, scout vessels and communication ships. "Incoming message," said Weapons. "Officer Kreldok, put it on the main screen." A human face appeared. He was older, with gray hair and kind eyes. Behind him, Veltara could see other humans working, and aliens, too. Lots of aliens. "Greetings," the human said in perfect Zephyrian. "I am Captain Jake Morrison of Earth Defense Command. We have been expecting you." "Expecting us?" said Veltara. "We knew someone would eventually send observers instead of attackers. Welcome to the Sol system. We would like to invite you aboard our ship for a proper conversation." Veltara looked at her crew. They all seemed as surprised as she was. "How do we know this is not a trap?" she asked. "You do not," said Captain Morrison. "But think about it. If we wanted to capture you, would we ask politely? We have enough firepower around you to take your ship easily. Instead, we are offering you the choice." He was right. The human fleet could destroy the silent dagger in seconds, but they were talking instead of shooting. "Very well," said Veltara. "We accept your invitation." An hour later, Veltara and her crew were walking through. the corridors of a human ship. But it was unlike any ship she had ever seen. The walls showed technology from many different races. The crew was made up of dozens of species working together. "Amazing," whispered Nextala. "They have integrated everything." Captain Morrison met them in a large room. With him were other humans and several aliens. Veltara recognized some of the alien faces from intelligence reports, former enemy commanders who were supposed to be dead or captured. "This is Major Tony Lewis," said Morrison, pointing to a tall alien with blue skin. "He commanded the Centauri forces that attacked us 5 years ago." The alien stepped forward. "I was sent here to destroy Earth," he said. "Instead, I found something worth protecting." "What changed your mind?" asked Veltara. "They showed me what we could build together. Look around you. This ship uses Centauri engines, Vortani weapons, Mantari shields, and human engineering. It is better than anything any of our races could build alone." Morrison led them to a window. Outside, they could see the massive combined fleet. Thousands of ships from dozens of races, all working together. "Each race that joins us brings something new," said Morrison. "The Mantari brought advanced computers. The Vortani brought powerful weapons. The Helix Empire brought energy shields. We combine the best of everything." "But how do you make them?" "Want to join?" asked Kreldok. A female human stepped forward. She had short brown hair and wore a white coat. "I am Dr. Rachel Green," she said. "I study alien cultures. We spend years learning about each race before they arrive. We know their languages, their customs, their needs, and their fears." "You prepare for specific attacks?" asked Veltara. "We invite them," said another voice. Everyone turned. An older human man entered the room. He wore a military uniform with many medals. "Director Frank Miller," Morrison said, "head of long-term strategy." Miller smiled. "We do not wait for random attacks. We contact alien civilizations and challenge them. We make them angry enough to attack us." Veltara felt shocked. "You start the fights?" "We start the conversations," said Miller. "Most races in the galaxy rule through fear. They attack anything. That seems weak. So we appear weak. We let them think Earth is an easy target. But why? Because it is the only way to meet them. If we traveled to their worlds, they would see us as invaders. If we stayed hidden, we would never make contact. But if they come here to attack us, we can show them something better." Dr. Green activated a holographic display. It showed Earth from space, but not as Veltara had seen it before. This Earth was covered in cities. Massive space stations orbited around it. The moon was covered in buildings and landing platforms. "This is what Earth really looks like," she said. "We hide most of our civilization when attackers arrive. We make ourselves look primitive. It is part of the strategy. You pretend to be weak? Until the moment we choose to be strong. By then, the attacking fleet is committed. They cannot retreat easily. So we give them a choice. Join us or be destroyed." Major Lewis nodded. "Most choose to join when they see what we offer." "And what do you offer?" asked Zekhan. "Everything," said Miller. "Technology, knowledge, medical advances, a chance to be part of something bigger than any single race." Morrison led them to another room. This one was filled with aliens working at various tasks. Some were clearly former soldiers, others looked like scientists or engineers. "Everyone here was once an enemy," he said. "Now they are family." Veltara watched a group of Krillian workers helping to repair human equipment. Just hours ago, they had been trying to destroy Earth. Now they were fixing human ships. "How do you do it so quickly?" she asked. "We show them the truth," said Dr. Green. "Most races fight because they think they have to. They believe in conquest or be conquered. We show them a third option, cooperation." A Krillian engineer looked up from his work. He was missing one arm, probably from the recent battle. "They fixed my arm," he said in broken human language. "My own people would have left me to die because I was wounded. Humans made me a new arm, better than my old one." He showed them his replacement arm. It was clearly made with advanced technology. "Now I help them build better ships, ships that protect instead of destroy." Veltara was beginning to understand. The humans did not just capture ships and crews. They captured hearts. They showed alien races a way of life that was better than endless warfare. "What happens to those who refuse to join?" asked Krell Doc. Miller's expression became serious. "We keep them comfortable but separate. We study them. We learn from them. And we hope that eventually they will change their minds." "You do not kill prisoners?" "Killing someone ends the conversation," said Morrison. "We prefer to keep talking until we find common ground." They continued the tour. Veltara saw medical bays where human doctors worked alongside alien healers. She saw laboratories where scientists from different worlds shared their knowledge. She saw training areas where former enemies learned to fight as allies. "This is incredible," said Nextala. "You have created a true alliance." "We have created a family," said Dr. Green. "Races that were enemies for centuries now work together. They share knowledge. They help each other solve problems." Director Miller activated another display. This one showed a map of the galaxy. "Are not done," he said. "There are hundreds of races out there. Most of them are trapped in cycles of war and conquest. We want to free them from that." "By conquering them? By recruiting them? One attacking fleet at a time?" Veltara looked at the map. Many systems were marked in different colors. "What do the colors mean?" she asked. "Red systems have races that might attack us in the future. Yellow systems have races we are studying. Green systems have races that have already joined our alliance." There were a lot of green systems, more than Veltara had expected. "How long have you been doing this?" she asked. 73 years, said Miller. "Since our first contact with alien life. We knew that eventually someone would try to conquer Earth, so we prepared." "You prepared for 73 years?" "We prepared to survive. We did not expect to thrive, but every attack made us stronger. Every enemy taught us something new. After a while, we realized we were not just defending Earth. We were building something new." Morrison smiled. "We were building a galactic community based on cooperation, instead of domination." Veltara felt overwhelmed. Everything she thought she knew about humans was wrong. They were not primitive, they were not weak, they were patient, clever, and incredibly dangerous. But dangerous in a way she had never seen before. They were dangerous to the old ways of thinking, dangerous to empires built on fear and conquest. "What do you want from us?" she asked. "The same thing we want from everyone," said Miller. "We want you to go home and tell your people what you have seen. Tell them about the choice." "What choice? Join us willingly, or attack us and join us anyway." Veltara understood. The humans were not making threats. They were making promises. Either way, the Zephyrian Empire would eventually become part of this alliance. The only question was whether it would be easy or hard. Commander Veltara returned to the Silent Dagger with her mind full of impossible things. She had seen enemies become friends in minutes. She had watched former attackers working side by side with their targets. She had learned that everything the galaxy believed about Earth was wrong. "Set course for home," she told Navigator Zekhan. "Are we really going to tell them everything?" asked Science Officer Nextala. "We have to. Admiral Kexthor needs to know what we found here." But as the ship prepared to leave, another human message came through. "Commander Veltara," said Captain Morrison's voice. "Before you go, we have a gift for you." "What kind of gift?" "Information, and a message for your admiral." The main screen activated. This time it was not just Captain Morrison. There were dozens of faces on the screen, humans and aliens from many different races. Some she recognized from intelligence files. Enemy. Commanders who were supposed to be dead. "This message is for Admiral Kexthor of the Zephyrian Empire," said a female human with short gray hair. "I am Ambassador Helen Clark of the Earth Alliance." Veltara had never heard of an Earth Alliance before. "We know you sent Commander Veltara to spy on us," Clark continued. "We respect that decision. It shows wisdom to observe before acting. Now we have an offer for your empire." The screen changed to show the massive fleet around Earth. But this time, Veltara could see more details. The fleet was even larger than she had thought. Thousands and thousands of ships from dozens of races. "This is what we have built," said Clark. "An alliance of former enemies working together. Every race that has joined us has become stronger, safer, more prosperous. Another human appeared on screen. He wore a military uniform. "I am General Marcus Kane, commander of Earth Defense Forces," he said. "We want you to know that we could have destroyed your spy ship easily. We have weapons you have never seen, technology from races across the galaxy, but we chose to talk instead." The screen showed images of Earth's hidden defenses. Weapons built into asteroids, battle stations hidden behind moons, fleets of ships in underground caverns. The planet was far more defended than anyone had imagined. "We do not show this to threaten you," said General Kane. "We show this to prove that we are strong enough to defend ourselves, strong enough to protect our allies, strong enough to keep our promises." Ambassador Clark appeared again. "We invite the Zephyrian Empire to join our alliance, not as subjects, but as partners. Your technology combined with ours could benefit everyone." A new face appeared. Someone Veltara recognized with shock. "General Thakmore," she whispered. The Vortani commander who had disappeared 3 months ago was alive. He looked healthy and calm. "Commander Veltara," he said in his deep voice, "I know what you are thinking. You wonder if I am a prisoner, if I am being forced to say these words." He smiled, which was unusual for a Vortani warrior. "I am here by choice. The humans showed me something my people never had. Peace, real peace. Not the peace of conquest, but the peace of cooperation." Other alien faces appeared. Former enemy commanders from different races. "The humans keep their promises," said a Mantari general. "They share their knowledge freely," added a Helix Empire scientist. "They treat former enemies as equals," said a Krillian captain. Ambassador Clark returned to the screen. "Commander Veltara, you have seen our strength. You have seen our unity. Now we ask you to carry our message home." "What message?" asked Veltara. "Tell Admiral Kexthor that the age of conquest is ending. Tell him that a new age is beginning. An age of cooperation. An age where races work together instead of fighting each other." General Kane appeared beside her. "Tell him that he has a choice. His empire can join us peacefully and help us build something wonderful, or what?" asked Veltara. "Or they can attack us like the others did, and then join us anyway." The screen changed one more time. Now it showed a map of the galaxy with Earth at the center. Lines connected Earth to hundreds of other systems. "This is our ultimate goal," said Clark. "A galaxy united in peace, every race contributing their best knowledge and skills. No more endless wars, no more fear of alien invasion." "How long will this take?" asked Veltara. "We have been working for 73 years, said Kane. "We can wait 73 more, or 700. Humans are patient. We think in the long term." Clark smiled. "But we hope your admiral is wiser than that. Why wait for the inevitable? Why not be part of building something better right now?" The message ended. Veltara stared at the blank screen for a long moment. "Commander," said Weapons Officer Kreldok, "what do we tell the admiral?" "The truth," she said. "All of it." The journey home took 2 weeks. When the Silent Dagger arrived at the Zephyrian homeworld, Admiral Kexthor was waiting for them. "Report," he ordered as soon as Veltara entered his office. She told him everything. The missing fleets that were not missing. The humans who pretended to be weak, but were incredibly strong. The alliance that grew stronger with every attack. Admiral Kexthor listened without interrupting. When she finished, he was quiet for a long time. "So the humans want us to surrender without fighting," he finally said. "They want us to join without being forced to," said Veltara. "There is a difference." "Is there?" "The result is the same. The Zephyrian Empire becomes part of their alliance, yes. But the method matters. If we join willingly, we are partners. If we attack first, we become converts. Partners have more say in how things are run." Kexthor walked to his window and looked out at the stars. "What do you think we should do, Commander?" Veltara had been expecting this question. She had thought about it during the entire journey home. "I think we should accept their offer," she said. "Why?" "Because they are right. Look at our empire. We rule through fear. Our subject races obey us because they are afraid of being destroyed. But they are not truly loyal. They would rebel if they thought they could win. That is how empires work, not the human empire. Their allies fight harder for them than our subjects fight for us. Their allies share knowledge freely. They're allies. Trust each other. Kexthor turned back to face her. And you believe this alliance is real? Not just clever propaganda? I saw it with my own eyes. Former enemies working together. Sharing technology. Protecting each other. It is real. The Admiral was quiet again. Then he activated his communication system. Send a message to Earth, he said. Tell them we accept their invitation. Veltara felt relieved. Sir, you are right, Commander. The age of conquest is ending. Better to be part of building the new age than to be dragged into it. 6 months later, Veltara stood on the bridge of her new ship. It was built with Zephyrian engineering. Human computers, Vortani weapons, and Mantari shields. The crew was mixed too. Zephyrians, humans, and former enemies all working together. She was part of the Earth Alliance now. Her people had joined peacefully, and they were already benefiting from the partnership. New technologies, new medicines, new ways of thinking about old problems. Commander, said her human second officer, Lieutenant Ben Parker, we are receiving a distress signal. From who? A race called the Hegemony. They are asking for help against something called the Devourers. Veltara smiled. The Hegemony had been one of the most aggressive races in the galaxy, but apparently they had found an enemy they could not defeat alone. Set course for the distress signal, she ordered. Let us go make some new friends. As her ship moved through space, Veltara thought about the future. The humans had been right about everything. The galaxy was changing. Races that had fought for centuries were learning to work together, and it all started with one simple idea. Instead of destroying your enemies, convince them to become your friends. The age of conquest was ending. The age of cooperation had begun, and somewhere in the galaxy, other races were about to learn the same lesson that 17 different civilizations had learned before them. No one returns from attacking Earth because no one wants to leave once. They understand what Earth is really building: a family, a community, a future where everyone could be stronger together than they ever were alone. The humans had not conquered the galaxy. They had taught the galaxy how to conquer itself, how to conquer fear, hatred, and the endless cycle of war. And that, Veltara realized, was the most human thing of all.